Yeah, but if he don't say the line, it's soft.
What line?
You got the Super Bowl because of the song. If you don't do the song and say the line, what's the point?
Which line are you talking about?
File one.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't do it, not because, and I said this way before any lawsuits and stuff. I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't. That's not my moment. Like I hate people who think Kendrick Lamar is only at the Super Bowl because they're not like us.
He is there.
He's not though. This guy's had an amazing career. If he didn't have Not Like Us, Kendrick could still do the Super Bowl. This is his second time.
Not this year, but he could, but not this year.
Well, okay, to that point, right?
Yeah, it was the biggest song this year. That's not saying it's not deserved. It's absolutely deserved. It's the right person to have.
Absolutely.
But because of the hit song, it's like.
But then he put out a fantastic album. Like, Kendrick could not do Not Like Us and still have an incredible, beyond incredible set.
Right.
I don't need to hear I don't need to hear any diss record at the Super Bowl. And I was about to say how many people really even know these records, that'd be stupid. Everybody knows about the Drake Kendrick diss because it was the two biggest rappers, two of the biggest artists in the world.
Which is what you want to see.
I wouldn't give Drake that moment. I just wouldn't.
Why do you think that's his moment though?
I wouldn't mention my op on the biggest stage.
You don't gotta say his name.
I would do the hook. I literally would do. I had a marching band in New Orleans. They not like us. They didn't have the crowd sing, and then go on to another record.
Yeah,
explosion, boom.
I can see him doing that. Like,
that's what I would do.
I can see the
I'm
crowd.
not mentioning Baca at the Super Bowl. I'm not mentioning Party at the Super Bowl.
That shit is soft.
I don't want to mention none of that.
That's soft. Y'all are moving the goalposts.
The crowd say it instead of even him saying it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
But you have to play the song.
Yeah.
And you have to create that scenario where it's played. You could get sneaky about you not saying it, but the crowd says it. But you have to do that moment.
I don't want to see Kendrick doing. Say
shots.
Drake. I heard you like him young. This is your moment. Like the Super Bowl is like the.
He got it.
Because rappers don't do it. Rappers don't get
if you don't do it. If you don't do it, you're just like the artsy little nerd that people think you are.
I don't think so.
If you want to be number one, hey.
He's already number
Michael
one.
Jackson plays his hits when he does it.
Listen.
Everybody who does it plays their hits. They don't not play the biggest song they've ever had in their career. And this is by far the biggest song he's ever had in his career. So nobody goes to the Super Bowl and doesn't play their biggest song. And if you don't, you scared.
Facts.
Or you're bowing to corporate interests. And if you're bowing to corporate interests, then now you can no longer be like, I'm the indie guy that's always slept on and nobody thinks about me.
Well, he's not indie.
I think that there is some branding and marketing around it that he's definitely leaned into. So now that you have the opportunity for the corporations to tell you what to do, and you go, oh yes, of course, whatever you want, Pepsi, I'll make sure that I do that. Now you can't criticize Drake for doing the same thing. If Drake is the bubblegum candy corporate rapper, and the second everybody loves to criticize people for opportunities they don't have. Now that you have the opportunity to prove you the indie real guy and you don't do it, soft.
We never saw back to back on a big stage.
Yeah.
We never saw Drake go anywhere and perform back to back on a big stage.
That's not true. He was running that shit and
never.
Yeah, he did the OVO Fest and he did it.
No, he had plenty. He could have performed it at the NBA All-Star game. He didn't do it. He gave a little shot.
He's gonna retire.
Listen,
he gave a little shot to Meek when he was talking to Kev, and he was just like, "Yeah, Philly's had a rough month or a rough year or some shit like that." But he didn't perform it. I just don't think you should do a diss record on a big
Kendrick
stage
show
like that.
or Pepsi show? If it's Pepsi show, that's fine, and Pepsi want to tell you what songs you're allowed to perform.
Kendrick,
that's totally fine.
You don't gotta listen.
You don't have to listen.
I wouldn't do it.
You don't have to listen.
I don't think he should do it. I'm consistent. Before the lawsuit, I said he should do the horns and the hook. I just wouldn't be up there mentioning all them other people during my time like that.
Play the whole song. He's gonna play the hook.
Especially in an era. Now, mind you, it ain't even really most all about Drake. It's everybody else that he mentions in the record.
Yo, imagine I went to Abu Dhabi and I didn't make fun of them at all. People would be like,
not the
oh,
same.
you scared? Oh, no, it's not the same, but I'm saying, they'd be like, oh, Schulz, you scared? You go to every other country, but when you go to that one where you could get arrested, now you pussy, you don't make fun of them. If they said that, I'd be like, man, you're right. You got a good criticism. I took the bag going over there, but then I didn't keep it consistent in what I do, 100%. So you either scared or you letting Pepsi tell you what songs you can or can't play. But either way, it's not authentic. That's the biggest song you've ever had on the biggest year you've ever had, and it's a slapper. He plays that shit, the whole place is gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah, but he got about 5, 6 other records that he can play that's gonna make me. I'm a Kendrick fan, so there's other records he can play that.
There's no question.
Shit.
He's a prolific artist. I'm not saying he's not a prolific artist with music that's phenomenal. I'm not saying that isn't the case. What I'm saying is that is by far the biggest song of his career. and this is his year, and he's doing it at the Super Bowl. If he doesn't do it, he either is scared or doing what Pepsi tells him or the NFL tells him.
Let's say this.
He's gonna do it.
But listen,
And that's okay. A lot of people get in those situations where they do that. They're not willing to fight for their art.
But
That's fine.
There's nobody scarier, terrified, frightened than Aubrey Graham. I've been there. Aubrey filed this lawsuit because he's scared to death Kendrick might perform this at the Super Bowl.
Even more reason to perform it.
I think he did this for 2 reasons. I think Aubrey filed that lawsuit because he wants to make the Grammys feel like, man, we can't reward this record, man. This record got, he's calling him a pedophile and he's getting sued over this record. We can't give him this record, even though Grammys, you can't avoid it.
If they don't give Kendrick the fucking Grammy.
He got to win it. The rap song
for this, it's not even close. It's like, okay, let's just, I'm honestly trying to speak objectively here. It's the song of the year. The Grammys would do themselves a disservice to not reward the person who put out the song of the year.
Not Like Us is one of the biggest songs ever.
That's my point.
I'm not even joking.
That's why you gotta play it. That's why you gotta play it.
Wait,
Come on,
you realize you already been taking shots at Drake
stage.
too?
Horns in the hook.
No, it's the biggest song.
Horns in the hook.
And
You
you're on the
gotta
biggest
do it.
stage. You gotta perform.
You gotta do it. You could do this. You could say this. You go, say Drake, and then don't say anything, and the audience goes, I think you like him. Yeah, it is it. Now it would be like, what I would look at it is this. I would look at, you had crazy corporate interests telling you can't do it, and you said, I'm gonna play my song, but I won't say that word that the entire audience is gonna say.
No, that ain't the part I would hit anyway, though. The part I would hit was trying to strike a chord, and it's probably
A minor.
Yeah.
But it got to be something, and because if you don't do it,
He's been taking shots already during his little teasers.
Who? What's the shot?
Kendrick.
What shots did he took?
The first one when he was like, "There's only one."
I think
one
Kendrick
winner,
moved on
something
from
like
Drake.
that. He probably did, but
Like a long time ago. Drake is the one who hasn't
But
moved on.
he's still performing. He knows he
but
got.
he can't help that that's his biggest song.
Yeah.
So even if he moved on, we didn't. Your biggest song is tied to him.
GNX got records on there that I love. And this, and Not Like Us is absolutely his biggest song ever.
That's
but
all I'm
because
saying.
Not Like Us is one of the biggest records ever. But I'll much rather see Squabble Up at the Super Bowl.
He's gonna play that too.
Yeah.
You got to do Squabble Up at the Super Bowl.
Play the Broccoli song, but also you got to do the
Him
one.
and SZA gonna do Luther.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't do Luther.
It's kind of
Maybe
kind of slow.
Luther's-
kind of slow, right?
Yeah, he could make it.
Listen.
Y'all forgetting they could jazz it up.
The debate isn't whether he has amazing songs throughout his career. The debate is not whether he deserves it or not. He absolutely deserves it. So all these things are true. But if you don't play the biggest record you ever had, it's corporate interests.
I don't think so.
Influencing you, and that's
Because
which is fine. We all get influenced by corporations.
You know why? Because there's records that I know he's going to perform that would piss off that crowd way more than Not Like Us. We gonna be all right when he's saying we hate Popo. Like that right there. I know they don't want him to perform that. And he did that at the last Super Bowl with Dr. Dre. And if I'm not mistaken, they bleeped out Popo.
Yeah.
When he says I hate Popo, they bleeped it out. That record right there is more risky to do than not. They don't care about him dissing no rapper, bro.
How important is your art to you, man? That's all. If you don't let Pepsi decide what you can or can't do, you work your whole life to create a career where you can write songs about whatever you want, the things that are important to you, and then Pepsi goes, yeah, but cut that shit out.
I don't think Pepsi told him that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Pepsi told
I
him
think
that.
he's going to play the song. I can't fathom
But if he
would
doesn't, it's not
play
because
it.
the corporate told him not to.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe that.
Yes, it is. And it's okay to want corporate
Because
connections.
I wouldn't play. I'm not even. I wouldn't do it.
You might not, but I'm saying it's okay to want corporate connections. It's okay to want these relationships. It's okay to want to build your career in that way. Drake did a great job of doing it, but now you can no longer criticize Drake for being a corporate rapper the second you get a big corporate opportunity and the corporation tells you what you can or can't do, and then you acquiesce. That's all I'm saying.
Now Kendrick might do the song 4 times.
And if he did,
That would be fire.
I don't think so.
oh my God.
Not to me. I really don't.
The pop out concert, he did it like
Yeah, because
10 times. That
that's
shit
the
was
pop out show. See,
dope
when I'm thinking,
every
here's the
single
thing.
time.
Son, if he did it,
Kendrick
just
is-
that song. If he only did that song,
Fire.
son, the place gonna go crazy.
I like the fact that rappers are getting the opportunity to perform at Super Bowl halftime shows. And I like the fact that I can take these rappers' performances and compare them to all-time great Super Bowl halftime shows. Now, one of Dr. Dre's biggest records that we all love is Dre Day. He ain't do that at the Super Bowl. Why would he? It's a diss record, and that shit is fire. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, death row, and that's just one of Dre's biggest records.
But it's not bigger than the other songs he
But
played.
no, I mean, Dre Day? Yes, it is. Dre Day's up there, bro.
But it's not bigger than the other songs he played.
But it's up there though. Like Dre Day's a classic Dr. Dre record.
When you think of
Him and
Dre,
Snoop.
you know what you want. You want the Chronic, bro. Let's run the Chronic.
That's the Chronic.
The biggest hits on the Chronic.
Dre Day was one of the biggest hits on it. That was the first single off the Chronic.
Let me bring out the Chronic.
Yes, it was Dre. The singles off the Chronic was Dre Day.
G thing was
Dre Day, nothing but it. No, Dre Day was first. Dre Day, nothing but a G thing. Let Me Ride. What was the other single?
The Chronic, Dre Day's the first song. Let Me Ride.
Yeah.
The Day, Word I Can't Say, took
Well,
over.
you rereading the track list.
Yeah, Nothing But a G Thing, crazy. You got to
Crazy.
play that shit. It's not even a question. You have to do it. Bitches Ain't Shit. You should probably play that one.
That would have ripped. That would have went crazy at the Super Bowl. Crazy.
Rat Tat Tat.
Dre Day was a big record. All I'm simply saying is, if Kendrick doesn't perform the record, I don't think it's because of corporate interests. I just think that, like, why ruin this massive moment with that? That's just my.
Why do you think it ruins it?
I don't know. It just feels like it's like you sharing your moment. See, a lot of times, right? Like, would you diss a comedian on your Netflix special?
Never.
That's exactly. That's all I'm saying. Like, even if you had beef with a comedian in that moment, while you're doing your special, you're not gonna go out there and address.
But it depends. If the beef that I had with that comedian was the biggest beef in the history of comedy, I probably would have a joke about it, and then I would do it in my Netflix special.
Yeah, Chris
That's
Rock
the
did it.
problem.
Well, that's different though.
I'm just saying that is the difference. Like we're
Yeah.
talking about the biggest beef in the history of rap music.
That's a good example Taylor used, but it's just different. Like Chris couldn't avoid that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's
yeah,
unavoidable.
Kendrick can't
It's the
avoid
same. It's unavoidable.
Now I'm gonna tell you why it's different.
Can I just validate
Okay.
what you're saying? Is I get Charlamagne's place where it's like a diss song features another rapper without them being on it, but they are tied to it no matter what. It just so happens that diss song is his most popular song that he's ever written. It doesn't mean it's his best. It doesn't mean that he hasn't created like tons of other amazing work. There's no question. But that is his most popular song.
Yeah.
And choosing to not play your most popular, most recognized song in the year that it came out at the biggest event that you'll ever that you have performed at so far in your career, there has to be some other thing going on here. And if there was a beef that I had with a comedian, it was the biggest beef in the history of comedy, and I had a fire bit about it, you better damn believe I'm putting that shit out. And I'm doing it on the biggest stage possible, and I'm letting it rip.
I guess the difference between Chris Rock and Will is that we hadn't heard from Chris after the slap. That was the first time we heard from Chris since the Will Smith slap. We've heard from Kendrick. We know exactly how Kendrick feels about Drake. We've seen him perform this song at the Pop-Out. We've heard Not Like Us all over the radio. I personally don't need it at the Super Bowl.
Different
and it
mediums.
comes a point in time where you have to, in the 48 Laws of Power, it's one of the 48 Laws of Power, never go past the mark you aim for in victory. He's won already.
Also, one of the 48 Laws of Power is destroy your enemy completely.
Yeah, but is that possible to do with somebody like Drake?
No, but having the entire world sing that at the same time is
crazy.
like you said, it's the reason why Drake is suing. It's the reason why he's being so litigious. It's like he understands the brand ramifications of that.
So you want him to kill himself, is what you said.
No.
That's what it sounds like
I
you're
like
saying.
Drake.
Yeah, like you like.
I like Drake.
But there's only
prefer-
one other place to go after you, Sue. Like he can't even be trans. Well, man, he can still be trans in Canada, right?
Yeah, you can. You
Okay,
can. You got that. You got that.
Yeah, you might get
For the
changed.
time being. For the time being.
Yeah, I'm saying like there's what other drastic thing could you do after this?